Hi, this is Josie from It Is Josie, and I'm coming over here today at the Love Notions YouTube, and I thought I'll take you through how I went about fitting the lyric dress. That's with choosing the sizing, sewing up a muslin and fitting it up, and the few modifications I made. Let me show you how I'm going to choose the sizing I'll be making of my lyric dress. And we need our high bust measurements, our full bust measurements, and waists and hips. However, this pattern comes with different cup sizes that's really helpful for finding the right fit for the bodice, because without that, it might not give us the best fitting bodice. And with me here, I've got my personal measurements, a 31 high bust and full bust is 32.5, waist 26 and hips is 35. And the pattern recommends that when you're choosing the bust size, to choose your sizing, you use the high bust. And my high bust is 31, which shows us I'll fall within size 2. Then the full bust is 33, but we are focusing on high bust to choose our sizing. The full bust will help us choose the cup size to make. And then for my waist, I'm size 26, which is that. And then for my hips, I'm size 37, which should be size 4 really. And this is how we choose our cup size, because just in case you're wondering, then what's the cup size for and how do you choose your cup size? So for sewing cup sizes, because that will help us with the fit, we've already seen that I'm choosing the high bust for my measurements, and my high bust is 31, and the full bust, and my full bust is 32.5. And for us to choose which cup size we should make, we find the difference between our full bust and our high bust, and the difference from my measurements is 1.5 inches. And over here, we know if the difference is 1, you go with cup size A, and if the difference is 2, you go with cup size B. However, I fall in between A and B. And the recommendation still from this pattern, from the instructions, is that if you are between sizes, you go with a smaller size. So in so doing, I'm going to go with cup size A. So that means I'm going to sew up size 2 at the bust. I'm going to go with size 2 at the bust and cup size A, which gives me a full finished measurement of 35.5, which is good enough really. And then, because if I decide to go with cup size B, the ease will be quite big and I don't think it will be flattering at all. So I'll go with size 2, cup size A. Then for my waist, it's 26. We've said I'll go with size 2 still, 26.5. And the finished measurements for the sizing is 28.5. And then when you go to the hips, a 37. So I should be going to size 4. But still that's debatable, because if I'm going to go for size 4, it will be 44 finished is a difference of 1 inch really. And it's give and take really. I could blend into size 4, but given that the skirt is quite, if I go with the gathered skirt, it has a lot of ease within. I don't think if I still remain at size 2, it will make a massive difference. So I'm deciding for the hips, since the skirt has more ease around the hip area, I'm going to stick to size 2 in that I don't have to blend into any other sizes. Hope that's clear. I'm going to go ahead, sew up my toile, then I show you how I go about with fitting it. I've now made my muslin, and I've just used an old duvet cover that I'm not in need of really. And as you see here, I've marked up my seam allowance, where my stitching line, when I turn it down, to give me a proper idea of how the blouse will be once it's sewed up. I've not done anything else, and I folded off the button placket and pinned it down. So this is how still it would sit on my body, and pinned myself in it. And this is the final fit of my bodice. As you can see, it's meant to come down to my own natural waistline, and I've used an elastic to mark my natural waistline. if you need to know where your natural waistline lands, you bend onto the sides, and that exact point is where your natural waistline is, where your body falls in. So this is my natural waistline, and I'm going to fit this. And this is meant to land at my natural waistline. However, you should take into consideration that you also have to accommodate for seam allowance, which is 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to try to mark and see if there's any other adjustments I have to make. Probably if we first look at the top here, and if we try folding it in, it seems to lie flat onto this body. I'm not sure. At first I thought I would need to take out some, but I think it's comfortable enough. And this arm side, it would look big, but I'm hesitant to take it in, considering that I'm going to make the short sleeves version. If I was going to make a sleeveless one, I would probably need to take in a little bit so it fits perfectly on the body but doesn't show a lot. So I'm leaving it like that to leave some arm movement once I attach the sleeves. I'll be using the short sleeves. The same for this side. And if we look at the back, it looks a bit, there's more room than I'm happy with. However, there are two options to this. If I'm going to make the flared skirt version, up to now I'm not yet decided on which version I'm making. So there are two options to this. If I'm going with the flared one, I'll take it in a bit by a total of 2 inches on the side, but still leaving some room for when I've eaten a good meal. But if I'm going with the gathered waistline, I might just join it, gather it onto this skirt piece the way it is, and create some ties that don't come with a pattern. I'm not sure, but I don't think the pattern comes with ties. So there are two options to it. And let's see how it lands on our natural waistline. As you can see from here, from our marked elastic, it seems to go further because you first adjust that. This is at the shoulders. If you are to mark off, it's about that bit that goes past the natural waistline. To the side, it's about that bit. And then in the back, if you can see, most times when I'm making clothes, I need to make a sway back adjustment. Most times when I'm making dress, because of the difference, it dips in a little bit here at my waistline. And at my waistline, dips in a little bit, so there's that curve. If I'm making a dress or something much lower, I need to accommodate for that extra bulk. I always need to take it out. But the fact that this bodice is landing way at my high waistline, I may not need to do that, but still this will show us how much I need to take out of the bodice. If we need to take out any amount, this is a natural waistline. And also one thing about me, I've got a shorter torso compared to the legs. My legs, most of my height is within the legs, so I always need to shorten a bit of my bodice pieces. And also if we are looking at the darts, another alteration you would need to make if the darts are below. This is my apex and the darts come over here, so I don't think I need to make any adjustments. I don't know whether they are clear. These are the darts. The apex is over here. So I mean the apex of the darts is over here, and this is just the tip of my nipple. So I don't think I really need to make any adjustments to that. I'm going to leave the arm side the way it is to accommodate for the wiggle room with the sleeves. And most likely, let's see how much allowance we have left here. This is about 5/8 of an inch. We may not bother with reducing it since the seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch. I could go ahead and use a wider seam allowance for the waistline if I want to reduce the bulk. But I don't think I'll be doing a lot of alterations really. The only alteration I might make, if I'm going with a tempered skirt option, I might take in a total of 2 inches. That's half an inch from the side, which I'll blend into the side still around the waist area. Or if I'm going with a gathered skirt, I might just leave it as it is, but create some ties to help cinch it in. And that's how I've gone with fitting my lyric dress. I'm really happy with the few alterations I need to make, and I'll show you what option I would have gone with, either the gathered skirt or the tapered one. Thank you. And this is my completed lyric dress. I sewed it out of a linen viscose fabric. And I made a few modifications to it, not so many, but the bodice fits really nicely. If you can't tell, it fits on the body, no gaping whatsoever. It fits right at the body, and the darts come straight to the apex. And this is a fitted dress. The few modifications I made, I added ties to the dress to cinch in the waist a bit. I just didn't want it loose, so I added ties. And I also, the gathered skirt comes with patch pocket options. I decided to go with. I created some inseam pockets. I used another pattern I've sold up to create the inseam pockets. This is the lyric dress. Show you the back view. I'm going to add finished pictures of this dress and how it sits on my body and the general fit. I went for the short skirt portion, which I lengthened still a bit. I'll attach the link to the lyric dress at the bottom if you're interested. It also comes with the girls version, which is the Dulce dress. I hope to make that for my daughter. Sad enough, I don't have leftover fabric to match with her, but I'll probably get fabric and make matching dresses. And it's a good pattern to make, really. The fitting comes off very easily, and if you want to sew it up, it's a good one. Thank you for watching. Bye.